Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session, Transport in Living Beings, part 5. So we have been discussing about the transport system in the plants completed. So now in the animals, we are going to discuss the different, we have completed single circuit circulation, that is single circuit, example fish, and double circuit circulation, example amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. So let us continue the discussion. Human circulatory system. The human circulatory system functions to transport blood and oxygen from the lungs to the various tissues of the body. The heart pumps the blood throughout the body. The lymphatic system is another extension of the human circulatory system that includes cell mediated and antibody mediated immune systems. Cell mediated and antibody mediated immune systems. Okay. The components of human circulatory system includes the heart, blood, red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and lymphatic system. Okay, this is the human heart. So before going to the human heart, let us know briefly about these new terms: cell mediated, antibody mediated immune systems. Cell mediated immune system is a natural immune system where our immune system produces antibodies. Okay, that is WBC, which fight against these the antigens or pathogens which enter into the body. And these antibody immune systems, these are by means of vaccination. When we take the vaccine, the antibodies against that particular disease is developed in the body. Means our body prepares to fight against the diseases by taking vaccine. These vaccines are specific. A polio vaccine can develop the immunity against polio disease. A corona vaccine develops immunity against the corona disease. Okay. So natural immune system is present in our body, which always busy in fighting, or it's a defense system present in our body. Okay. So lymph system is also, lymphatic system helps in the development of this immunity, okay, by producing WBC. Okay, now come to the heart. Human heart is how many chambered? 4 chambered. Right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. So this is a simple picture, internal structure. So it possesses several valves which prevents the backward flow of blood. So this is a valve, this is a valve. Okay, so these valves prevent the backward flow of blood. These are the blood vessels. The blue color blood vessels represent the carrying deoxygenated blood. This is vena cava. This is pulmonary artery which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. And this red color blood vessels represent they carry the oxygenated blood. This is the main artery, aorta. So let us proceed. Human heart. The human heart is about the size of a clenched fist, size of one's own fist. It contains 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Oxygen poor blood enters the right atrium through a major vein called vena cava. Just now the blue color one is there, no? that. The blood passes through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. Next, the blood is pumped through the pulmonary artery to the lungs for gas exchange. Okay, see here. So this is the four-chambered heart. The blue color superior vena cava, and here this is the inferior vena cava. They open into the right atrium. Deoxygenated blood from all body parts. Upper parts collected by superior vena cava, lower parts collected by inferior vena cava, and finally opens into the right atrium. Then right atrium pumps the deoxygenated blood into the right ventricle by means of a valve, that is tricuspid valve. This is the tricuspid valve. Okay, three cusps are present. Next, the deoxygenated blood is carried by pulmonary artery to the lungs for oxygenation, where the gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli of lungs. Okay, the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein brings oxygenated blood from the lungs into the left atrium, and the left atrium pumps oxygenated blood into the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, the oxygenated blood is carried to all body parts by aorta. Okay, let us continue. The oxygen-rich blood returns to the left atrium via pulmonary vein. The oxygen-rich blood flows through the bicuspid valve or mitral valve into the left ventricle, from which it is pumped through a major artery, the aorta. Two valves called the semilunar valves are found in the pulmonary artery and aorta. The ventricle contracts about 70 times per minute, which represents a person's pulse rate, which is equal to pulse rate. Okay, here. So here the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the pulmonary vein. The pulmonary vein, and then the left atrium pumps that oxygenated blood into the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, the oxygenated blood is carried through aorta. So if you see this aorta and the pulmonary artery, there are two valves are present. They are semilunar valves. They prevent the backward flow of blood. Okay, whereas the left atrium and left ventricle are guarded by a valve called bicuspid valve. It possesses two cusps through which the blood enters from left auricle to left ventricle. Okay, then the left ventricle pumps that oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. So this heart contract and expand, especially the ventricle contract about 70 to 80 times per minute, which represents the person's pulse rate. This pulse is measured in the artery, because the heart pumps blood directly into the arteries, not veins. Okay, so one of the main artery is to be checked for the pulse rate, which is equal to the heartbeat. Next, blood pressure, in contrast, is the pressure exerted against the walls of the arteries. The blood pressure is measured by noting the height to which a column of mercury can be pushed by the blood pressing against the atrial walls. So try to understand here. Blood pressure is measured by noting the height to which a column of mercury can be pushed by the blood pressing against the arterial walls. Means here, in order to measure the blood pressure, a machine is used that is called sphygmomanometer. So a cloth or a band is tied to the body where the artery pressed, So the pressure with which the blood is pressing against the arterial wall is called blood pressure. Okay, normal blood pressure is a height of 120 millimeter of mercury during heart contraction, that is systole, and a height of 80 millimeters of mercury during heart relaxation, that is called diastole. Normal blood pressure is usually expressed as 120 by 80 or 120 over 80 mm of Hg, where 120 represents the systolic pressure, 80 represents the diastolic pressure. So this is the modern device which we are using for measuring the blood pressure, digital sphygmomanometer nowadays we are using. Previously simple mechanical device is used which has a bulb to create the pressure and a cloth to be tied. So here the cloth is there, this is to be tied to the artery, and here some settings will be there. The normal blood pressure is 120 by 80. 120 represents the systolic pressure, means when the heart contracts, the pressure, the pressing against the arterial wall, how much pressure. So because the heart is pumping directly blood into the arteries, so the pressure will be very high in the artery. So if it is 120 mm of Hg, then it is normal, this is systolic pressure. Whereas 80 represent the diastolic pressure, means when the heart relax, diastole, the pressure will be reduced. So diastolic pressure 80 mm of Hg. 120 by 80 represents the normal blood pressure. Any change in this figure, it may be, if it is more than 120, okay, and more than 80, then it will be a hypertension, high blood pressure. Okay. Next, blood vessels. Coronary arteries are the blood vessels which supply the blood to the heart muscles. The heart is controlled by nerves that originate on the right side in the upper region of the atrium at the sinoatrial node, or we can call it as sinoauricular node, or simply we can say SA node, sinoatrial node. Okay, heartbeat start from this node. Okay, the contraction of the auricles begin at this sinoauricular node, which is the right side in the upper region of the atrium. Okay, this node SA means sinoauricular node is called pacemaker, means which generate the heartbeat. It generates nerve impulses that spread to the atrioventricular node, AV node, atrioventricular node, where the impulses are amplified and spread to other regions of the heart by nerves called Purkinje fibers. Purkinje fibers are the nerves associated with the heart. Okay, the coronary arteries are the smallest blood vessels which supply the oxygenated blood to the heart muscles. That's the reason why heart attack is caused due to the blocking of these coronary arteries. Coronary thrombosis it is called, which lead to heart attack. Okay, so here once again the heart functions. Heartbeat is equal to 1 systole plus 1 diastole. Systole is the contraction, diastole is the relaxation. Okay, which produce the two sounds lub dub, lub dub. Okay, so the heartbeat, how many times? 70 times per minute, which is equal to the pulse rate. Isn't it, children? So here how the heartbeat is generated means it is controlled by the nerves that originate on the right side. So here conducting system of the heart Sino-auricular node, SA node. You see this figure is not available in your book. Okay, the internodal tracts, anterior, middle and posterior, these are the tracts. Sinoatrial node, SA node, here the impulse is generated, means heartbeat is started. That's why this SA node is called a pacemaker. Okay, and it goes to atrioventricular AV node. Okay, so this is the AV node, and where the bundle of His and Purkinje fibers, these are the Purkinje fibers, they are nerve fibers associated with the heart. Is the right bundle branch and the left bundle branch of this Purkinje fibers are present. These are bundle of His also, they are also called minute this fiber like, they are the nerves actually. Okay, they carry the impulse. Okay, so you know very well, heart is a involuntary organ, means it will work on its own. Okay, whereas our limbs muscles, when you want, then only it will, we can move, but heart muscles are not. Heart is a muscular organ made up of special muscles called cardiovascular. So what do you call those muscles? Called cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles, special muscles they are. Okay, they are involuntary, means from birth to death they continuously work. Next, blood and blood cells. Now the blood vessels, main blood vessels, arteries, veins and capillaries we have studied. So our circulatory, human circulatory system consisting of blood vessels, heart and blood. Now heart structure and function completed. Now come to blood. Blood is the medium of transport in the body. The fluid portion of the blood, that is plasma, it is a straw colored liquid composed primarily of water. All the important nutrients, the hormones and the clotting proteins as well as the waste products are transported in the plasma. Okay, the main function of blood is to transport. Okay, what are the materials transport? After digestion, the products of digestion. Okay, the products of digestion means glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and other endocrine secretions like hormones. Okay, some proteins, clotting proteins like heparin and the waste products like urea and other, okay, nitrogenous waste, they are transported in the plasma of the blood. Red blood cells and white blood cells are also suspended in the plasma, means they float in the plasma of the blood. The plasma, that's why it is called the matrix of the blood. Okay, the plasma from which the clotting proteins have been removed is called serum. So whenever a wound occurs, after some time on the wound transparent fluid is formed. Okay, that is nothing but a serum. What is serum? The plasma, it is a part of plasma only, from which the clotting proteins, heparin, okay, clotting proteins have been removed is the serum. Next, red blood cells. What are red blood cells? Red blood cells are also called erythrocytes. Erythrin means a pigment, red color. Okay, they are also called erythrocytes. Cytes means cells, red cells, red blood cells, red blood corpuscles. These are disc-shaped cells produced in the bone marrow. Bone marrow means the middle of the bone, a tissue is present, that is called bone marrow. Bone marrow is a hemopoietic organ, means it produces the blood cells. So RBC are produced from that by mitosis, cell division. by cell division simply. Okay. Red blood cells have no nucleus. So here actually the primitive RBC means just produced RBC possess nucleus. It is a eukaryotic cell. It possesses all the structures present in the cell. But mature RBC has no nucleus. Okay, it has no nucleus. And the cytoplasm is filled with hemoglobin. Red blood cells are red in color due to the presence of a protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Only hemoglobin is present and cytoplasm is present in the RBC. Okay. Next. Hemoglobin is red pigmented protein that binds loosely to oxygen atoms and carbon dioxide molecules. Means it helps in the transport of gases. It is the mechanism of transport of these substances. Much carbon dioxide is also transported as bicarbonate ions through plasma. Okay. Next, a red blood cell circulates for about 120 days. Means lifespan of RBC is 120 days and is then destroyed in the spleen. Spleen is called the graveyard of RBC. Dead RBC is also not going to be wasted. The hemoglobin which is present in that RBC is again utilized for the production of some more pigments, other pigments. Okay, in the liver. So dead RBC are destroyed in the spleen, a lymphatic organ, an organ located near the stomach and composed primarily of lymph node tissues. Okay, it is a lymphatic organ. So here you see RBC are biconcave in shape. It possesses hemoglobin. Very simple structure. Okay, plasma membrane, outer membrane, and internally a protein is present that is called hemoglobin. Okay. Next, when the red blood cells is destroyed, its iron component is preserved for reuse in the liver. Means what is that component, iron component? Hemoglobin. Okay. The remainder of the hemoglobin converts to bilirubin. Okay, bilirubin is the pigment present in the bile juice. Bile juice is secreted by liver. Okay, so it is an amber substance, light green color. Okay, this amber substance is the chief pigment in human bile, which is produced in the liver. Red blood cells commonly have immune stimulating polysaccharides called antigens on the surface of their cells. Okay, and individuals having the antigen have blood type A as well as anti-B antibodies belonging to blood group. Okay, based on the presence of this antigen, okay, blood groups are of different types. If antigen A is present, it is A blood group. It possesses antibody B. Whereas if the individuals having the B antigen have blood type B, means antibody B's. Antibody A is present in the blood group B. Individuals having the both antigens A and B on the RBC, they have blood type AB. Okay, AB blood group have both antigens but no antibodies. Anti-A and anti-B are absent. And the individuals having no antigens on the RBC, they belongs to type O. They possess only antibodies but no antigens. Okay, children. More about these blood groups you will study in higher classes. Okay. Remember, O group is the universal donor group and AB group is the universal recipient group. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.